Imagine the Pleistocene epoch, a time when the Earth was untamed and merciless. The sun dips below the horizon, and the vast savanna is swallowed by an absolute, unforgiving darkness.
For early hominins, the night was not a sanctuary for rest. It was a realm of profound terror.
Beyond the fragile, flickering boundary of a small campfire, apex predators ruled the unseen landscape. Giant hyenas, saber-toothed cats, and massive short-faced bears possessed olfactory systems.
They were designed to detect the absolute faintest trace of organic matter.
They were the undisputed masters of the wind, capable of tracking a biological scent from miles away across the freezing plains.
Now, consider what might be the greatest, most terrifying paradox in the entire history of human evolution.
In a prehistoric world where remaining completely undetected was the absolute only guarantee of surviving until dawn, our direct ancestors carried an inescapable biological beacon.
Unlike almost every other terrestrial mammal on Earth,
Human females experience a pronounced, recurring, and significantly extended physiological cycle. A cycle that routinely releases the distinct, metallic scent of iron, blood, and organic tissue directly into the wild, predatory environment.
Why would natural selection, a mechanism globally famous for its ruthless efficiency in eliminating fatal vulnerabilities,
Allow such a dangerous, life-threatening trait to persist?
Why did we not evolve to hide this scent entirely, just like the prey animals we lived alongside? At Origin Vault, we look far beyond the conventional surface of history.
Today, we open the paleontological dossier on a biological mystery that theoretical species.
But instead, it forced us to build the very foundations of human society.
To fully comprehend the sheer magnitude of this evolutionary puzzle, we must first examine the fossil record of our ancient enemies. These ancient beasts were not just random animals looking for a casual meal.
They were highly specialized, relentless tracking machines.
A single drop of blood in the dry soil, or the faint scent of biological shedding carried by the cold night breeze,
Was an undeniable, irresistible invitation.
For early Homo sapiens and our closely related hominin cousins, the physical reality of our existence was already incredibly bleak. We had completely lost the thick, protective fur of our distant primate ancestors.
We completely lacked the bone-crushing jaws, the razor-sharp claws, and the raw, explosive muscular...
But most importantly, as we transitioned to full bipedalism, the anatomical structure of our feet permanently changed.
We lost the grasping, opposable toes that were absolutely necessary to swiftly climb and sleep safely.
We were permanently grounded.
We were forced to sleep on the perilous forest floor, entirely exposed to the horrors of the night.
This permanent transition to terrestrial sleeping meant that hiding was our primary, and often our only, defense mechanism.
Yet, for several consecutive days, every single month, a significant portion of the tribe became...
From a strictly academic and biological standpoint, researchers suggest that the human menstrual cycle is a highly complex,
necessary mechanism designed to constantly prepare the uterine lining for potential reproduction. It is a marvel of internal biology.
But in the brutal, unforgiving external context of the prehistoric wild, it was an extreme, almost suicidal liability. The scent of fresh blood and decaying organic material is a universal, undeniable signal in the natural world. To a predator, it signifies injury, physical vulnerability, and the promise of an incredibly easy kill.
When the temperature plummeted at night, the dense, cold air perfectly preserved.
And carried these heavy molecular signatures directly to the ultra-sensitive snouts of creatures that saw us merely as a food source.
The psychological burden on these early human groups must have been absolutely staggering to comprehend. Imagine the silent, suffocating tension within the tribe as the moon slowly cycled. Knowing with absolute certainty that the inescapable biological rhythm of the females within the group was about to broadcast their exact location to the surrounding darkness.
In the dead, freezing silence of the prehistoric night,
The sudden snap of a dry twig, or a low, vibrating growl just outside the fragile circle of firelight, was not merely a passing, random threat.
It was the terrifying manifestation of a death sentence.
Brought upon them not by a mistake, but by their own fundamental biology.
Evolutionary anthropologists and behavioral scientists strongly theorize that countless other hominin branches,
Entire species of our ancient relatives, may have gone completely extinct for this very reason.
they simply could not find a way to adequately protect their female members during these recurring periods of extreme, unavoidable vulnerability.
Fighting a massive 600-pound hyper-carnivore with nothing but primitive, sharpened wooden spears and stones.
It was a desperate, often fatal gamble.
The night was a slaughterhouse waiting to happen. But here is the defining, extraordinary twist in the timeline of human evolution. Based on the strict rules of natural selection, a species carrying such a glaring, unavoidable biological signal.
Yet, this immense, terrifying survival pressure did not destroy our direct ancestors. Instead, prominent anthropologists hypothesize that this inescapable physical vulnerability forced a radical, unprecedented shift in our trajectory. We did not evolve anatomical mechanisms to biologically suppress the cycle, or magically erase the scent.
Instead, we evolved behaviorally.
We were forced to invent defensive architecture, strategic planning, and ultimately, the very concept of human society itself.
When we examine the archaeological records, specific patterns emerge from the dust of the Pleistocene.
Excavations deep within the limestone caves of South Africa and the rugged terrains of the Levant region reveal a fascinating, deliberate strategy.
Researchers have uncovered the ancient, compacted ash layers of continuous hearths.
These were fires that were meticulously, desperately kept burning day and night across multiple generations without.
Furthermore, these early humans deliberately selected and modified cave dwellings that featured highly restricted, naturally bottlenecked entrances.
Scholars strongly suggest that these specific locations were not chosen merely as convenient shelters against the bitter, freezing Ice Age climate.
They were consciously designed as heavily fortified, defensible perimeters.
They were constructed specifically to protect the vulnerable members of the group, whose uncontrollable biological rhythms were
To survive those recurring, horrifying nights, a solitary hominin family or a fragmented group could never possibly succeed. The environmental pressure mandated that the tribe had to adapt through extreme, synchronized cooperation.
This ongoing biological crisis likely catalyzed the very first complex division of labor in human history.
To maintain the safety of the perimeter, they required dedicated, vigilant night guards to constantly monitor the shadows.
They depended on specialized fire keepers to ensure the protective flames never died.
Serving as a vital thermal and visual barrier against the encroaching darkness.
Anthropologists even theorize about the early, deliberate gathering of strongly scented, pungent herbs and botanical materials. These were specifically utilized to artificially mask the distinct, metallic olfactory signature carried by the wind.
An isolated individual could not survive this recurring nightmare, but a highly organized, cohesive collective intelligence absolutely could.
This is the harsh, profound origin of human social structures. We banded together not just out of primitive kinship, but out of absolute, terrifying necessity. The ultimate, unyielding lesson of paleontology is that the natural world possesses absolutely zero empathy.
Nature does not offer forgiveness, nor does it make special accommodations for biological vulnerabilities.
It merely presents a ruthless, indifferent environment.
And it is entirely up to the living organism to adapt or face permanent, silent erasure from the fossil record.
The evolutionary cost of our survival was unimaginable psychological stress and continuous physical danger.
However, the extraordinary, lasting reward for enduring that relentless predatory pressure
was the accelerated development of our pack intelligence, the mastery of fire, and the foundational seeds of modern human civilization.
The next time you find yourself standing alone in a dark, unfamiliar room,
feeling that sudden, inexplicable urge to quickly turn on a light,
or feeling the hairs on the back of your neck stand up at a strange, unseen shadow,
remember exactly where that profound instinct comes from. That cold, creeping shiver is not a random malfunction of your modern, sophisticated brain.
It is an ancient, genetic echo, vibrating deeply within your DNA.
It is the lingering, inherited memory of millions of sleepless nights.
Of our distant ancestors, staring out into the pitch-black void.
Surviving only because they learned to stand firmly together against the monstrous predators that hunted them by scent.
We are the resilient descendants of those who refuse to be consumed in the dark.
If you are captivated by the hidden, scientific truths of human evolution, the forgotten mysteries of our prehistoric past, and the incredible, often harsh science behind who we are today,
do not forget to subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments below.
Join us here at Origin Vault as we continue to unearth the ancient, forbidden secrets of our world. Exploring the fascinating journey of humanity, one vanished footprint at a time.